Anxiety. What do you tell your friends and family? If you're suffering from anxiety, or if you know someone suffering from anxiety, then it's really difficult to explain to them, or if you know someone who's suffering from anxiety, to understand what exactly are they going through. And if you are experiencing that, then it must be extremely frustrating, because what you're experiencing as a challenge is not just trying to understand how to get over these anxious feelings or the panic attack and to manage all those things, but it's also true to try to solve the challenge in the first place. And you probably heard a number of times someone ask you, what's the problem? And you go, I don't know. And that's really tough. Hi, my name's Andrew Halliday. I help people with anxiety overcome their issues so they can dissolve what's causing the anxiety in the first place so they can go on to live a normal and happy life. Make sure you stick around for to find out how you can get on a free 15-minute discovery call at the end. So we can just talk and unpack, firstly, how you can get across how you understand what you're feeling so other people understand if you want to do that. And also to what we can do to dissolve what's causing it in the first place, because that's really where it's all at. So let's just get onto this first, because as you're probably experiencing, or maybe your loved one is experiencing anxiety, you find it really challenging to work out what to say so they can understand what you're going through, because unfortunately what happens is when you're trying to explain what's happening and you can't, the other person who in the first place had good intentions is now getting frustrated with you. They're getting frustrated, fearful, and they're not remaining calm. Now, in some cases, you will have a very understanding friend or family member or partner, and they'll understand completely, even though they don't understand. All they want was what's best for you. So the very first thing to do, if you're having even more anxiety about explaining to your friends and family what you're going through, is don't. Just say, I can't really explain it, and I'm okay with that. Now that takes the pressure off you. Now, if you're the type of person who you get more anxiety when someone doesn't understand you, then you need to let that go first, because that's not helping the situation, all right? So what you need to tell them is, right now, I can't explain it, right? Now, this is a solution for someone else understanding. Now, they're probably getting more and more frustrated about the fact that there's no solution for what you're going through. And it's their challenge. It's not yours, because you've got something to deal with already. So the very first thing you need to acknowledge is your right for a boundary, that you don't really have to explain what's going on. So there is a boundary there, that if someone doesn't understand, then that's really difficult. It's like two people speaking a different language. If one person speaks in English and the other one speaks in another language that you don't understand, then it needs to be translated. And sometimes in that translation of the language, the meaning's lost. They don't match up. That in some languages, there's so many words to describe the same feeling, and the nuance is missed if you don't quite get the right word. But in the other language, just one word for it, good or bad. So you need to understand that there is going to be a difference in the understanding. And if there is a difference in the understanding, then that's okay. So there needs to be an acceptance of that, to acknowledge that. Now, if you're the person trying to listen to someone who has anxiety and they're trying to explain to you in such a way that you don't understand, then that's okay too. Because the most important thing you can do is listen. And when you listen, it's showing that you listen. And showing that you're listening is just repeating back what they say. So if they go, I'm feeling really panicky at the moment, then if you're listening, what they want to hear is you understood that you're feeling really panicky at the moment. Solutions don't help until you've acknowledged what's happening. And here's the real challenging part for someone who listens. You might have to hear that over and over and over and over and over again. Hundreds of times, thousands of times, and there will be no solution. But the solution slowly comes from that understanding. If someone is not understood, then they will feel even more pressured to be something different. And here's the kicker, that if you're experiencing anxiety, then you've got a problem with yourself already. You don't feel comfortable in where you're at given your surroundings. And that's the challenge, to feel calm in any situation, no matter what. And for some people, that's not possible yet. For some people, that is possible now. And it doesn't really matter what's possible now. What matters is, firstly, that if you're trying to explain and no one understands, then you've got to let that go. Secondly, if you're the person who is trying to care, give, and help someone with anxiety, just be there to acknowledge and understand and support. And even if you can't support in a way that actually makes a difference and provides a solution, that's not your job. Your job is just to acknowledge it. And if you've got anxiety, your job is just to understand that there is a boundary whereby if you're speaking a different language, you just need to let that go too, because that will cause you more anxiety. And right now, if you do have anxiety, right now you need all the energy that you've got to remain calm and relax. It's not the solution, but it's the opposite of anxiety. Being calm and relaxing is the opposite, and you need your energy to remain calm. And then from that point, there can be some solutions. But this is not about having a solution. This is about, if you've got anxiety and your friends and family or loved ones are having a challenge with that firstly, you just need to acknowledge that you may not be able to get through to them. And then if you acknowledge that, then that will give you some peace. That's what we're searching for, a bit of peace from that responsibility, because it's not your responsibility. And secondly, if you're trying to understand someone with anxiety, just take a breath, pause, and listen. That is the most powerful thing you can do for them, is just listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. So my name's Andrew Halliday. If you want to get on a discovery call to see how you can dissolve your anxiety so you feel calm and you can just live the life you want to, then make sure you click the link below. Also too, you can follow my Facebook page. There's a link for that. And certainly get in contact with me directly if you want. And I'm sure I'll be able to help you dissolve those issues and live a normal and happy life just the way you want.